American Pie Presents Beta House is the last film. Well, okay, it's not the last American Pie Presents film, but it is the final one that to feature Eric and Dwight Stifler. And yeah, I actually grew to like Eric and Dwight. They're nowhere near as good as Steve Stifler, Sean William Scott, but Eric was one that I liked kind of off the bat. Like he's just a normal teenager who has some sex problems, but he's ultimately a good kid, and he's well acted also. But with Dwight, on the other hand, he starts off in American Pie Presents the Naked Mile. He was a typical Stifler that ultimately you could feel some authenticity with. Like, you could tell that this guy isn't just a Sean William Scott wannabe, like Tad Hilgenbrink was in Bandcamp. And in this one, Beta House, we get to see more of who Dwight Stifler is as a person, which is good. He's not just he is a Stifler in the sense that he is a big party animal who swears a lot. We also get to see that he's actually a good-hearted person who loves his cousin Eric dearly, and he has a great amount of pride in really all that he does. He's a caring soul. And we didn't get a whole lot of that in The Naked Mile, but in Beta House, we do get more of it. So, yeah, this movie takes place not quite a year after The Naked Mile. Eric's girlfriend dumped him for some loser. And so Eric and his friends, they want to go to, I don't remember if it's Michigan State or whatever, to pledge Beta House, because that's where Dwight is. Now, when they go, they must compete with this other major fraternity full of geeks that are ultimately going to rule the future. Now, these geeks they're geniuses, and they're also major party animals, and they're really good party animals, and they can really get any chick that they want. They throw like the best parties. I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, I would also join the fraternity of those geeks, because your grades might increase and they throw really good parties and with really groovy chicks and stuff. So when Eric and his friends end up pledging Beta House, of course, tons of partying, loads of tits and ass. Maybe as much as Naked Mile. I don't know. I didn't really keep track of the amount of nudity, but it's a typical American Pie movie. Loads of tits and ass, and usually with sequels, got one up the last. And so when I was watching the film, I was thinking to myself, I'm not really. Nah. Okay. Eugene Levy obviously makes an appearance in this. I thought him and Dwight in this case were ultimately the best part of the film. Everything else in the film was just a random party sort of film, like who can out party which fraternity, and yeah. Well, of course, I do like Eric Stifler, but in this case, I just thought that the story was rather shallow, was a little too shallow, and yeah, I thought that they really should have done more with the characters and really evolving everything. I like this movie and I didn't, so I'm gonna give it 2 stars out of 4.